Now let's see, is there any other methods which we can use? Here you can see one method called center and count. Okay, now we have center. Center is basically to align the text. Let me declare one new text Python. Okay, now what I am going to do is course.center. So now the first argument is your total length of the line. In our case, you can consider that as a 30, and for the remaining characters, so the total line length is 30 character, and it will consider Python to be in the center of the line, and the remaining spaces it will be using simple space character. If I want to replace space with any other character, we can do that like this. So you can see Python is in center, the remaining characters are replaced with star. Give a little bit space before that. Instead of declaring it to variable, I am straight away passing this. So I have one space front and back, and I am aligning to center. So this looks nice than this. So like that we can align, especially when you're logging or when you're printing something to your file, you want to specify some title for that file. In that case, you can use this type of lines to distinguish from the regular output. The header and footer kind of format you can use like this for ljust. So ljust means left justify. If you have used MS Word, you could have familiar with this ljust and rjust. So left justification and right justification. So these are the alignment thing in while printing the string you can do, or you can store the header or footer like this as well. Now let's see other methods. So I have explained almost all methods. You try to use this when you practice. That will help you a lot when we code some task or when we practice some problems with Python. To use count method, you can pass one pattern and get the count of that pattern. Let's print this course now, and I am calling count of P here. You can say 1. If there is any 2 characters, we can see the difference. No. Okay, we'll put for now Python. Now n is 2 times. Now let's count n. This comes 2. So straight away you can count any character using this. You can count like this as well. So if you ask for how many double n's are in this string, you will get only 1. If you ask for single n, it will return 2. So like this, you try to explore each method from this string data type and post your doubts, and we will be happy to clarify for you. So that's it for string data type, and when we move along with problems, we will come to know more and more about these data types as well. Okay, now let's come to the operators part. There are a variety of operators type. We'll see one by one. We have arithmetic operators first. You can see plus, minus, star, slash, division, and exponentiation. So this is straightforward. It requires 2 operands, and you can use it straight away. And assignment operators, this needs a bit explanation. So let me declare to variable be equal to 20 as usual. What this assignment operators is like, first one, it simply assigns the value which is on the right side to the left side variable. That's it. Now what is this plus equal to? Plus equal to is nothing but a equal to a plus second operand, whatever you are mentioning, or 5 could be. So this is equal to a plus equal to 5. So this both are correct. Same operation, same result will be there. It will be incrementing the value a by 5 and stores it back to a. Here also this assignment operator will increment A by 5 and stores it back to A. Likewise, it subtracts and stores that back to A, multiplies by 5 and stores it back to A, and divide by 5 and stores that back to A. So like that assignment operator behaves. Then we have comparison operator. What this comparison operator does? It checks or compare two operands. Let's say A equal to B. Now this looks for whether A is equal to B. If it is equal to B, it will be returning true. If it is not, it will be returning false. Let's try to check if A equal to B means it checks that against B. The same way, this is not equal to. You can check A not equal to B. So let's run. We don't know what happened after all this operation. So let's see A and B before running our comparison. So let me run this. Right click, run Python file in terminal. Okay, you can see A is 15.5 after all this operation. Now you can see A equal to B. No, it's not equal, false. And A not equal to B, that's correct, true. So like that, you can use the remaining comparison operators as well. So this will check A greater than B. This will return true if A is greater than B value. Then the same way A less than B. This is very simple. We'll go faster. If A greater than or equal to B. If A less than or equal to B. Very straightforward. Let's run. You can validate these statements. So these two we have already validated. A greater than B. 15 is not greater than 20. False. Then 15 is less than 20. Then true. A greater than or equal to. False. A less than or equal to. True. So this is how we do comparison operator. And next we'll go for logical operator. So you could have come across with logical operations like and or. If both are true, true for and if any one of that element is true, it will be false, and if both are false, then it will be false. So this is for AND logic, and OR logic is if any one condition is true, then that's true, and NOT logic is just a negation. So let's test this. If A greater than 0, let me redeclare here A equal to 5 and B equal to 10 for simplicity. If A greater than 0 and B less than 15, if you check like this, just try to print. Okay, now let me comment this out. Okay, now let's comment this as well. We are just exploring our logical operators now. Let me copy this two line so we can see in the screen what is A and B as of now. I am uncommenting this. Okay, now we have A, B and printed A, B, and we have this condition. Okay, now AND. Here we have OR, and for NOT I give one example. Let's run this. Okay, now first compare. A is greater than 0, correct, this is true. B less than 15, correct, this is true. So this AND operator returns true. And here let's put OR, and here I am changing the condition. less than 5. Now let's print that this is also true. Why? This condition is true, but this condition is false. B is not less than 5. B is 10 here. So if one condition is true, our OR logical operator will return true. That's why it printed true. Not A equal to 5. We have that element. So this checks whether if we don't have an element, this will return true. If we have an element, this will return false. Let's put this 0 and check. The last element you can see, that is true, because 0, it assumes it doesn't have anything. So if A not equal to any value, if A is not a valid value, then that will return true. Correct. So this is how logical operator works. Now identity operator. This will check whether two objects are same in identity. Let's have A equal to 10, B equal to 10. Let's print A is B. This will return true. Now let's comment this out. Okay. Now I have given both the same value. Here I put A is not B as well to show you. Right click, run Python file in terminal. First one says true because both are same. Second one says false because both are same. Because here we are checking is not. It will be returned true when both of these elements are not same. I changed here. This should return false and this should return true. You can see false and true. This is how identity operator works. And membership operator, this we have already seen in string, so I will show you like this, the thon in Python. So this will check the membership, whether this pattern is a member of this text. In the same way, this will check the opposite, not in. So like that, here we checked, right? If A is B, A is not B. Like that, this will print. So first should return true, second should return false. So these are the basic operators in Python. There are one more bitwise operator that's not required at this level. You can learn that it later as well. Okay, that's all about it. Operators. We'll proceed further with other data types. Now we are going to learn about list data type. Okay, first we will see list is a collection of elements. Let me declare sample list as a name, and this is what open bracket and close bracket. This is syntax for list, and inside that you should mention the elements with comma separated. The elements can be a same type of data or different type of data as well. Arokya and Arunathan, like that as well. So list in Python is basically heterogeneous collection of elements. I can say number, I can say text, I can say another list inside that as well, which can have 1, comma, otherwise we will come from the reverse, 10, 9, 8. So like that also we can create. List is not basically a single type of elements to hold. In other languages we may need to specify which data type the array should be. The other data types it won't accept, but in Python it's a heterogeneous collection of elements. It will accept all the data types inside the list. How the list elements are getting stored? The list elements will be identified by a term called indices. Indices is like the first element will be addressed by 0 index. I will specify the index here, 0, and 2 will be identified by 1 and 2 and 3 and so on. So list index starts by 0. So the last element will be the total number of elements minus 1 will be the index. So that's how list stores the elements. And how to find the total length? So definitely there will be some easy way to do that. That's called a len type. Len is a method. For that method we should pass what is the list, sample list. Okay, check that. Run Python file in terminal. 7 1 2 3 4 5 6, and this all together will be considered as one element. So this last element is list. So total number of elements 7. So you can check the first element like this, print sample list. Now how to access the element? Now within this bracket specify the index. Can be a 0 or can be last element. Last element length will be 6. 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now let's print this. You can see first element is 1, last element is 10 9 8 within the list. So this is how we access the list elements. Okay, what if I want to access more than one number of elements from the list? For that you can specify the index range, which we call here as slicing, list slicing. So first we'll store this in the interpreter, then I can explain you much better way. You type Python. Okay, I have pasted here the same list. Now sample list, I can say from first element print before third element. See what it comes? From 0 before 3. 0 1 2. Indices which is on 3 will not be printed here. So 0 will be included, 1 2, 3 won't be included. That's why we have received first 3 elements. Okay, likewise I can start from anywhere in the list. I can start from 3 and go till 6. You can see this. So 3, what's the first element? 4. So you can check the index 0 1 2 3. So from 4 it starts and before 6 it will end. 4 Arokya Arulnathan. So it ended with Arulnathan. It won't print the last element. So this last number is exclusive. It won't include this index while slicing. Okay, if I want to access the last element of a list, I can't always calculate the total number of total length of list and minus 1. So I can access like this as well, like length of sample list. This will return 7 minus 1 and close. So what this will be evaluated as 6. Then the 6 will be passed to sample list. Then the last element will be printed. But Python has an easy way to address this. We have negative indexing. So if you want to access the element from last, you mention minus before the index. That's it. You will get the element. Let's say I want to get the element from starting from 0 to minus 1. Now you should guess what can be the output. The output will be all the elements without last element. Sorry, sample list. Okay, all the elements without last list element, because before minus 1 it will be stopped. So like that you can use slicing to access set of elements from the list as well. How to find min and max elements in the list? minimum and maximum of elements, Python offers a method like max and minimum. So we'll see how to use this method with list. So let me define one list, sample list, same here, with some random number like 234 243, something like that, some random number, 3 number I have here. Now let's print what's the minimum of this sample list and what is the maximum of this sample list. Very simple. To this method, minimum method and max method, you need to pass the list. That's it. Now let's run. Okay, run Python file in terminal. You can see the minimum is 243, the maximum is 983. Okay, I can suggest you, without using this min and max, try to find the minimum number inside the list and the maximum number inside the list after the basic data types and stuff. So this just keep in your mind. You can try this without these standard functions. Okay, now we have defined list. Now how to add additional elements to this list and how to remove, how to update, and all those things we'll see here. Now for our sample list we have 3 elements. I am going to add one more. To do that, you have append method. This append method from the list will enable you to add additional element at the end of the list. So at the end I am adding 100 and printing sample list. You check, you can see 100 got added into sample list. Now I want to tell you one major thing in Python. It's called mutable and immutable. Mutable, which means you can change the value after the definition, but immutable, you cannot change the value after the definition, because you can see list is mutable data type. That's why we can add additional data to the list here. Now we will see how to remove an element. To remove an element, we can remove the element using 2 ways. One is using the index, another one is just saying the element. Let me remove the element. To remove the element, you can use pop and specify the index. I am going to specify index 1. Now the second element from this list will be removed. 243 will be removed. Let's try by printing this. You can see here 243 got removed. And there is another way. You can straight away specify the number and remove. For that, use method remove, and you can see the help statement, what it says. Pass the object. The object is 243. Now the output will be same. Here also 243 got removed. Now how to update the element? Straight away, sample list, specify the index, which is 1. What element is in the list at index 1 now is 983. I am going to change that to 900 and I'll print that. You can see that 983 got changed into 900. So like that we can update an element to existing list. Okay, how to check whether an element exists in the list or not? For that, which we have already used one method, in operator, membership operator. 243 in sample list, obviously it's not there. 900 in sample list, it will return true. So the first one should return false, the second one should return true for us. Okay, that is how the membership operator works. Here in adding, we have seen how to add one element, but we can see how to add multiple elements, which is like another list. Now let me declare one more list. which is 100 and 200. If you want to add the sample list to temp or temp to sample list, you can use a method called extend. Extend, a parameter should be another iterable, which is like our collection of another data type, which is list. Here temp, anything which we can loop over a particular data type, which is called iterable. Okay, we have extended. Again, while printing, you can see 100 and 200 here. See, first single element 100 dot added, another one 100 and 200 from the list temp got extended here. That is how you can extend the list in place. Now, to sort the elements, how to do that? Print sample list first, then again I'm going to just call a method called sorted sample list, and again I'm going to print the sample list. There is a purpose, I'll explain you. Let me run. You can see this is the list first, then it got sorted 100, 100, 200, 576, 900. But again I am printing the sample list. It's as it is, it's not changed. So sorted, it will just sort and display. It won't sort the actual list. To sort the actual list, you should call the method called sort. If you sort like this by calling the list method, it will be sorted in the actual variable itself. Now you can see the difference. It got sorted. So this sort method and this sorted method, you should be a little bit careful while using this in your program. Now reverse elements in the list. Okay, to reverse the list, you can use a trick, sample list and double colon -1. If you specify this, this will give you the list elements in the reverse order. It will be starting from the last and complete till the first element. Check this. You can see here, this is the sorted one, this is the reversed one. This is how we reverse the elements in the list. How to count the occurrences of elements in the list? Let's say here we have 2 hundreds and 1 200, 1 576, 1 900. To count the number of elements and its occurrences, we need to follow the same syntax which we followed for string. Just use sample list dot count, and what is the element to be counted? I'm saying 100. How many occurrences of 100 in this list? It will be telling you 2. Totally 200. 200 elements are in this list. So this is how we count the occurrences. These are the majorly used list methods, and you can explore further methods using this. As usual, use dir command to explore attribute and methods. You can see a lot of them. You can copy the list to another list. You can extend, you can pop, you can insert at the exact index place. Actually, we saw how to remove using the index. Append will add at the end of the list, and insert will do at the exact index. You can try this by sample list dot insert. You need to pass the index. What's the index? I'm going to insert at first position. It will be the value. I'm going for 999. You can see this. Okay, there are a lot of output. Okay, you can see 999 I have inserted at the starting place of the list. So this is how we insert and do all the operations in list. We'll proceed with another data type.